Right. This is Hexaroids? Hexlands? Hexaroids. I haven't played this before. I've only seen a picture of a bunch of hexagons. Well, looks like you got high scores in there. That's nice. Capture all outposts on this asteroid. Start with gathering some gems. Okay. WASD and all that. At first, I'm a bit confused because I'm shooting, but it's like not doing anything. Select a gem spawner on the right and build it on the new foundation. Stay inside your outpost to upgrade it. What? Alright, I'm just putting it there because it told me to. Oh, so I can move. I didn't know if I was like inside the circle and I had to like, I thought I was like breaking out of the circle or something. Okay. Makes sense. What? Oh, okay. I think a little bit of sound could go a long way, even placeholder sounds for a prototype. I'm not getting to play around with each step before it gives me the next tutorial, so it's just flinging information at me before I've even like got my bearings on anything yet. Um, so I think what was throwing me off at first was the brown and the other stuff. Like I didn't know if this was terrain or like negative space because you got this over here too. Oh, all right, that's what that's for. Um, I mean, I get that it's ground now. What is it telling me? I want to start over. It's giving me too much tutorial. Okay, let's start again. All right. Oh, so it's procedurally generated. That's nice. So I'm going to go over here and mine some stuff. Now select a gem spawner and build it on the new foundation. So I can cancel the build mode. Okay. What I don't get is like, what does this thing mean? Is this just me hanging out? Is what's progressing that? I just don't even know what that represents in the game. I see my oxygen bar up there. I guess that's like the more time I spend on my base, the more I'm gonna build it out, I guess. Selected gems for upgrade. Tab to open the upgrade menu. Okay. I'm gonna give some UX feedback in a bit, but I'm gonna just get used to the game first before I do that. Look for neutral outpost nearby and claim it by staying inside. Oh, claim it by staying inside of that outpost, I guess. The wording's a little funny on that one. All right, well, nice. I got a goal I need to go do. I need to find an outpost somewhere. So I guess what I want to do is I can't really tell when the upgrade's going to happen again. Um that's something I do myself. That could definitely use a button in your UI other than just having to remember tab like a, Erlenmeyer flask like a research type thing. So we're going to need some movement speed and some oxygen if we're going to be out yonder looking for an outpost. So, oh, is that an alien a good thing, or is that an interactive alien, or is that just background stuff? So I'm kind of scanning around for an outpost. I don't really see one. Maybe it's this like circle over here. I get that it was nudging me, but I don't like that. I'll figure it out on my own. Like it's an incremental game. I'm supposed to be able to discover upgrades and things. I don't need an advertisement for upgrading. Okay, so that's an outpost. That wasn't clear. You could probably have some kind of icon in the center when it's unclaimed that reads as like abandoned building or something, or like a construction blueprint. There's some kind of icon that you could use to maybe help describe that. So yeah, this is opened up. So I guess I got to sit here and maybe it'll start making some of those hexagons in the middle. Yep. So I can't build more gem spawners. Is that um I didn't mean to click that. Oops. Guess I want that. A big part of incremental games, I think, is like not showing me everything at once, and I'm have access to everything, which is kind of ruining some of the fun. You're not allowed alone. Blah blah. Build a tower to defend your outpost. Okay, sure. There's a tower. I meant to do a gem spawner there, but um, the tutorial had me building the tower. So I just noticed this. I'm guessing these are like waves that I'm gonna have to survive, and it just gave me those. So that's nice. I like how it only pulled in that UI when it was kind of relevant for me. So it's acting like things are attacking, but I still don't see any yet. We're gonna go check on the home base and see what it's doing for us. We need more gem spawners. I'm gonna be digging under the rock. Seeing that there's enemies, I'm imagining there's some fun stuff that could happen. Like I could dig out, um, kind of like a safe spot in the mountain, and maybe I wouldn't want to dig this because it has a couple bottlenecks. So I want to kind of like dig in this way, maybe. But I don't know what the enemies are yet. Allegedly, they're here and they're attacking, but I haven't seen them yet. And I suppose there's some fun strategy of like, hey, at first you want to stay in your base and mine at the same time so you can min max building as fast as you can. It's the assumption I'm getting here. So I'm trying to get like just close enough where I'm still building, but I'm pecking away at this rock. All right, I'm gonna build a tower just in case they're coming when I'm not here. And I mean, I got gems. I'm really not like super excited about using them because I just have so many options. I'm like overwhelmed with the amount of things to click here. Um, I don't know, whatever this stuff does. Sure. And I haven't seen the enemies yet. So it made a big stink about them, but I don't know where they are. So I kind of just want to sit here, I guess, and keep building up my gem spawners. I think that's the strategy. Because at the moment, like, I think the exploration's fun. I just, like, haven't found a need to do it. Like, there aren't enemies coming. I don't have a goal that's, like, get all the way over there. It's just kind of barren out there. So, um, it's, like, more rewarding just to stay at home, I guess. I don't have anything pulling me out to do more. I feel like a game like this could do a lot with multiple resource types because you're mining. So, like, why not have um, gold or blue stuff or something too? So, I'm looking through here and I guess I want this because this is like mining too. When I saw projectile, I thought it was just like shooting bad guys, but I guess it's for mining. And then we'll make that a lot faster. We'll make it shoot a lot farther. And this makes sense. So it's going to go through two tiles instead of one, I guess. And then don't care about these because I still have not seen an enemy. Let's see if we're beefed up now. Hell yeah, that felt good. It's a nice little power spike there. I'm able to clear out from the safety of my uh, lazy boy chair or whatever. Still building my base while I'm digging out other stuff. I'm still trying to keep oh fuck. I didn't mean to do I was just trying to point with my mouse. I'm still trying to keep my bottleneck there in case these alleged aliens show up. Um I do wonder, like, the auto shoot works, but like would you want to make it where I hold down the mouse to shoot? And like maybe auto shoot is an upgrade I could buy later. That could be something just fun to add to the upgrade tree. And like right then, I didn't want to be shooting for a second. Like if I'm intentionally keeping um like hexagons around for a reason to like maybe hold back aliens, then I uh I don't want to auto shoot. I want to stop shooting every once in a while. So it's nice it gave me the grace period on the oxygen because I don't have any like audio cues right now where I'm like like about to run out. So having a grace period is nice. Um, I wonder if it'll do that again, or was that just like a tutorial thing? I'm gonna play dangerously. I'm gonna suffocate right here and see what it does. Yeah, it gives me a second. I don't have any other feedback on like what that grace period is. And it seems like each time I expand my base by one, it takes longer and longer. So that makes sense to build it out. It's going to be a much longer journey. I feel like I upgraded all this stuff too fast. Like it feels great, but should I have been able to just upgrade all that so quickly? Also, I don't know what these yellow question marks mean. Are they doing anything for me? Are they like some kind of item or something? I'm not getting any feedback on like what those actually do. Yeah, and the auto shoot's also frustrating with this because like what if I'm clicking stuff and now it's also starts shooting. So I guess I'll figure out if the game, if terrain even matters in the game later, but if it does, I would consider the auto shoot thing, being able to like disable it or something. Um, I mean, supposedly there was a boss. I must be missing something or the game's broken because I'm not getting any enemies in here, which seems like it's probably half the game is fighting enemies. Um, so since I'm not seeing any enemies and the game hasn't been like, hey, you need to get to Outpost Alpha or something, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm just kind of hanging out. So place tower traps help you take over their outpost. What? How would I place towers and traps if I can't? Right? I can't put those here. Oh, there's some enemies. Where'd they come from? So just now, this is the first time I've seen an enemy. They're going to kill me. They can kill me. That's fine. Okay, so I've got like a little power mode or something. So what's the deal? Were they maybe spawning from their hive and maybe they couldn't pathfind to get to me or something? Are they shooting me? I guess they're shooting me, which is fine. It's really hard to get a read on the game without any sound at all. Um, so yeah, I see their little lines there. They're booping out at me. So okay, now I've got this ring, sort of. I'm a little confused about this takeover mechanic. I'm assuming that it's something like there can't be any enemies on it, and when they're gone, then maybe I'll be filling up the green or something, but I don't have enough oxygen right now to get over there. So that means it's time to upgrade some more stuff. We'll pierce some enemies, we'll do some more damage, we'll do the cooldown because that's always going to be good. Um, I'm not sure if the game is still running behind. Should I be like looking out for enemies or something? Nah, the game's paused. Okay. Might help to just say paused or something here. Um, so I guess we want that to tell us where the outposts are. Player upgrade. I don't know what that means. And like, what is this? I don't know what any of this is. We need more oxygen and more movement speed. And I don't know what luck does either. All right. I'm going to guess we're good enough to kill these guys. Looks like I regen health over time. Doesn't matter about my base. Look at that. That's a big boy. Got him. Okay. We're going to go try to take this outpost, I think. The boss is already sitting there. That's fun. I like the thought of like a hive or something that builds up over time. There's a game that does that really well. I just forget what it's called. Um, I'll share it afterwards, but it's a good thing to reference where you have all these little like cancerous alien hives and there's just thousands and thousands of enemies and they like rebuild over time and it's a nice tug of war kind of top down sort of game like this. So I'm trying to get them all. Okay, so this is my outpost now, right? Now I'm safe. I like that aspect of the game of find these enemy like hives or outposts or whatever, take them over. Once you do take them over, you can now regenerate your health there. You can build them out some more. That gets you closer to other enemies. If you spread yourself too thin and try to conquer them too soon, the bosses and enemies are all waiting there for you. All that stuff's pretty nice. I died. I didn't know why. I see this line. So I guess what's happening is they are shooting at me, and I just wasn't noticing. Capture all. So my goal is to capture all. That makes sense to me now that I've played once. Start gathering some gems and destroying nearby mountains. Okay, let's do it again. Um, so now I kind of know the goal. The first time I did the tutorial, Outpost wasn't super clear because it was a gray thing, but now in all other cases, I'm looking for a red thing and I'm taking it from the bad guys. So the tutorial kind of threw me off a bit there. I'm I think the enemies still follow the terrain, so I'm gonna be still trying to keeping these little choke points in the map for now. I'm gonna try to enter and exit through the same area. Um, I'll say it again, but if it's like if I could hold down my mouse to like stop shooting, that could be something too. Just something to let me turn off this bullet hose once it starts going. And so I need to get, what do we need to get? We need to get more damage, more range. And I'm trying to buy the upgrades that are before they get too expensive, so I can just get the cheap ones first. And we're going to be digging this out while we're building our base. I don't really care about the gems right now because I'll just pick them all up in one go when I need them. So to get my economy going faster, I'm going to buy another gem spawner. Ugh, only one. I guess I get two. All right. Oh, the gems are fading away. I love that. I like that they're not there forever. Got to get to them. I'm curious if the ones in my base, do they fade out or do they stay around forever? I don't know what I'd prefer, but my hypothesis right now is they're going to stay around forever because they are inside the base. We'll see though. I got my eye on them. Nope, they're fading away too. That's fine. I'm cool with that. Just as long as I know. It's nice because otherwise, like, you could come back to a base like a million years later and it just has like a crap ton of gems. Um, I feel like that could work. You would just need to be really, your currencies would have to scale up in a very exponential way, I guess, to make that work. So I think them disappearing makes sense. I don't know what those things in them are. I guess, oh, those are like they're constructing gems and they're, when they get done, it's a whole 3x3 grid. I get it. So now these aliens are coming again. I don't know when I'm gonna see them, but they're coming. So I'm going to update some of this stuff because it matters now. I need oxygen and movement so I can go get those other bases. I want more damage. I'm probably going to update my projectile stuff a little more next. And somehow I'm missing health. Why am I missing health? Is it because I bought max health, maybe? I think in almost every game I've played, when you get max health, it should bring your current health up with it. Maybe there's a reason you're doing that, but um, it's the standard I'm used to, at least when you upgrade max health. like build the bar up with it. Um, yeah, there's enemies somewhere, but I'm not seeing them. I feel like last time it tricked me. Like they just appeared out of nowhere. It's like they only showed up once I laid eyes on the enemy base, and then they like appeared back at my base when they weren't there before. That's the impression I got last time, at least. Where are you, aliens? I don't see any out this way. Still don't know what that question mark thingy is. Where are you, you damn ugly aliens? There aren't any over here. There is that upgrade I'm just remembering now called like outpost sensor or something. Let's get one of those. Maybe it's this thing? I don't really want to go through this way because now I just opened up a hole in my base, but that's fine. Whatever. So now we got another little safe point. I'm not sure if you'd want to do it, but it could be fun when you find like one of these abandoned outposts. Like you have to spend 1,000 gems or something. Like some big cost to build up to could be something to drive the player a little bit in the game. Not exactly sure. So I think those question marks just give me extra gems or something. I don't know. I don't know what that's doing. All right. Well, anyways, we're going to get some more upgrades, and it looks like we have an outpost to the west. So we're going to get some more movement speed. We're going to get some more shooty cooldown range and piercing. Some more oxygen, because I'm going to need that for my big journey. And yeah, we're just going to do that. Let's get the heck out of here. Okay, that's a long way around. So I'm just going to go west. I'm just going to cut through here. Probably not wise. I'm giving them a direct path to my outposts. Oh, and I can see them. They're kind of chomping through too. Yeah, so here I don't want to make that thing even wider. Because then what if it lets the boss get through? I want to keep this narrow. I'm going to stop trying to understand what the question marks mean. It's a mystery I'll never know. All right. So I have to have some kind of distance from these guys. I think it could really help to like show me that. Like how do I know how far to stay away from an enemy I need to be? And where are they coming from? I guess there's another outpost up north. All right, we gotta get back and get our oxygen. I'm paying so much attention to what I'm shooting so I don't blow up my own walls here. We're going to spend some currency on more damage, more oxygen. Can't get that. More health, more regen. Our health is in the shitter right now, but that's okay. We're going to stay kind of far back from the aliens. I also think like you could play around a little more with some of these aliens don't. And I don't know if they're aliens, right? Bad guys. If some of the bad guys actually don't shoot, they're just melee. Could be more fun to play with. I guess I died. Was my health low? And I'm seeing the outpost turn very red. So it looks like I've got an opponent and we are like 1v1ing this asteroid. And that's fun that the boss breaks up into little pieces. I like that. So now I've kind of understood that we're both building up on this asteroid. It's a tug of war. They've got more outposts than me. They're winning the battle. They're going to be able to spawn more enemies. Um, so in this arm wrestling match, I am under. They're over the top, and I got to catch up here. Things aren't looking good for me though. Oh my gosh, you little asshole! I almost had it. I almost had this base. Now you're all gonna kill me because you spawned there. Um, I think it would be nice if when you're capturing, they don't spawn. At least if you're on the comeback part of the capture. I get it when it's ticking down and it's red. That maybe they could still spawn, but um, if once you're on it and you're counting it back up, I do wonder if you'd want to prevent enemy spawns or like really limit the speed they're coming back at. So now we need to buy some of these towers, right? This is the first time I've wanted to buy a tower. Where is it? Towers. Tower range. Mobile towers. What? Traps. What? There's so many things. So I'm going to sit here for a second. I need to get my health back, and I probably need to build a tower too. I don't know what this big gray ring counting down means. Like, what is this? Is that bad? I'm perceiving it as bad. All right, we're going to build a mobile tower, whatever that means. Another tower. So this base is probably it's more secure than my home base, that's for sure. Ah, god damn it. I I get the whole, I guess it's a fun thing, but I don't know. It was funny the first time I did it. I'm curious if other players like that or if you should just make that a collision where it's like it's just impassable terrain, but like I don't know. I could see it being fun if I got weapons that like pushed enemies off of the edge or something, like forced them off, or there was game related to it. But if it's just the enemy's always going to be smart enough to never do it, and then I'm just going to be an idiot sometimes and fall off and lose a whole life, I don't really like the void there. It's neat that these are per outpost. I didn't realize that at first. I thought that these were like global, I guess. So now that I can build one here, that makes me know that yeah, I can build it for this base. I'm a little thrown off that I haven't just like totally freaking lost, especially when that bar was like 8. No, it's back to 8-2 again. Shit. Um, but like it's probably the hazard level I'm at, but this is a bad sign. This means like I should be losing like immediately or something. Like in a game like this normally. So I need to go back and get my home base again. They've taken it from me. Something else fun about if you weren't doing auto shooting, if it was more like player controlled, you could give them different guns. Since you've got so much combat in this game, like it's very combat focused where my player is going to go shoot some stuff. It could be fun to have a weapon choice I could change where, another one's maybe like a charge up and it does like an area of attack blast or something. Versus like this pea shooter style one that's just good all around. It could be fun to play around with different guns and stuff. I get it though if you're trying to do more tower defense things. Um, what just seems a little weird about the tower defense is it's all in my one bubble. I can't like put them other places. That's not a bad thing, but yeah. So I think that's all I'm gonna play today. I mean, I'm interested in this. I like some things that it's doing. I'm gonna run back through and do a little UI pass again. Um, I need to drink something because my throat's dry and there's no audio, so you're probably just hearing the ASMR of my voice here. Oh yeah. Okay. So when I first played this, the tutorials were a little bit overwhelming. They're relatively clear. They were just coming at me before I got to play with any of the things it's trying to say. I think this is good. Hey, your goal is this, even if I don't get what that is yet. Start by doing this. Okay. And here's your controls. Great. And nice tutorial, but hide them all is good. But after that first one, I think I was like getting accustomed to like what am I doing? And I get it that it's like a trigger, hey, on your first thing, it's going to tell you what to do, but I think it was giving me a pop-up for like build a gem spawner now. And then it was like now do this and it was all coming at me kind of fast. I think it's slower now. Um or I'm just more grounded where it's feeling like they're not coming at me as fast. For the UI stuff, I think this is pretty clear. This ring going around, talking about the completion status. This is relatively clear. These build zones in the middle. Like I said originally, I wasn't exactly reading this as ground and walls. Like I didn't know if the gray was ground or not, but once I learned it, I got it. It's fine. And the different colors are reading fine as like different terrain types. In terms of the HUD, I get what it's doing, but I'm so used to these bars in like a Vampire Survivors type game, which this kind of is with the gems and incremental stuff. This being like my XP bar that builds up, and like I don't really have to pay attention to it, but it kind of feels good when I see it moving, and I know when it's really lit up and far over here, it's close. Um, with it being something as critical as oxygen and health, I kind of wonder if those actually belong here. I've seen when I died, there was like an invincibility timer around here, but it might be worth considering, does that stuff really belong either close to the player or maybe somewhere that's easier for me to see? Is it high, is it low, or whatever? This being all the way at the top and it always being one color, it is kind of hard to just keep tabs on it. And it might be my monitor too, just because it's extra wide. Um, I think the health is fine because I just need to know how many do I have, right? I'm not going to be losing them that much, so that's nice and clear. The gems could feel better. Like, sure, they're counting, and I like that it's telling me how many changed when I did the pickup. But I think it's important in these games to get right the oh yeah, the money's coming in, and having that number be in a good spot. The timer is fine. I don't even know what it's for, but it's there. And I know this is like a debug button, but I know it's all work in progress. But I think mostly I'm getting is the oxygen and health. I would consider thinking about some of your UI and how does it relate to your player, and is that going to add noise of the stuff you're on? I don't know, but I was having trouble with that. I do like this outposts widget. I think that's nice, and I like the arrow indicator that was pointing out. And I really like how this appears only when it's needed, which is pretty cool too. And the ability for the player to kind of look at this. I think that's pretty fun to get you to kind of like think ahead about what's going on. Um, as you get farther in the game, design of this, I do think that there's value in not showing all this stuff. It's really cool for debug features and maybe for min-max players, but there could be there could be a point where if you hide all this stuff, it actually enhances the game. But like, what's the minimum hint you could show someone, right? You've got the red for the boss, but if you end up having different enemy types, I think it's standard for a lot of these games to have like this will be flying guys and this will be melee guys and this is a boss, but they don't always tell you like everything. So I don't know, just something to think about as you get farther along. This is definitely good for debugging and everything, regardless. Making sure it's all working properly. I could see how people might plan this out, but I'm certainly not good enough at the game to do that. But for example, it's like if someone learns the lore of the game and they get really into it, maybe they identify the boss that has he looks like a knockback guy, right? And then so like he's the one with the helmet, and they're like, "Oh, that's Baron von Knockback. I better get my towers ready." And it kind of enhances the game sometimes when you hide some of those elements from players. On the upgrade screen, like I said, this really should have a button on your UI somewhere. Even in the kind of like the scrappy mode you've got it in now, like a button that's like upgrades. Maybe you could click gems. Um, but it's weird that like this super primary thing is like the only thing that doesn't have an on-screen button. Uh, this stuff I feel like you totally want to hide sooner, and kind of like let people unlock stuff over time. I think I saw a few of these that were sort of doing it. So like when I buy max traps, there we go. Now we get all the trap stuff. That's good. Um, there's certainly presentation that you might be getting to display all this differently. But it is nice having all the choices here and letting me feel out the prototype and try things. But I would say it spoils the fun to see everything all at once. And it could be fun to introduce either these slower or some kind of research or something like that. I'm not going to give too much feedback on this because I'm under the impression that this is all just getting it working type of stuff. But it's very descriptive. I get it. Like, hey, it's making your speed go up. It's nice that it's telling me that right here. I like the numbers going up, and seeing them cleanly. I got my upgrades are prominent right there on the screen. So all that stuff is, I think you're doing that pretty well. Um, in terms of the game design, I do like the game once I understood what it was, where it's this alien takeover kind of thing, and it's a tug of war, and especially I can go get the enemy outposts. And if I don't, they're gonna get worse and worse. It definitely took a really long time for me to even see the aliens, even though allegedly they were spawning. So that was a huge disconnect for me, where it felt like the game was broken until I was like here or something. Um, before I saw the first red circle, I was really lost. Like, what am I doing? And it was feeling kind of boring. But just seeing the red circle, enemies growing within them, coming from that, and then realizing this meter here did a nice job tying all the game loop together for me. And it made me want to actually build out my base and do whatever. I brought up a bunch the shooty thing where I think the auto shoot's fine and it's part of incremental games, but if it seems like this game does use the hexagon terrain to form a path, and it just feels really bad to accidentally blow out. Like, what if I don't want to open up this wall here? And I'm over here like doing base things and I like look at my menu and then all of a sudden I'm shooting the wall that I don't want to lose. So um, I could see it working fine where the player has to hold to auto shoot, and then maybe they get an upgrade that toggles it on and off. Maybe they can have a gun that's an auto shooter, but they can flip out to a single shooter. Maybe it auto shoots and they can hold down a button to stop shooting. There's a million ways to solve it, but I think that for me at least, it's pretty frustrating just shooting all the time when the walls are something I want to be careful about sometimes. And it's not like I guess like you might always want to be shooting to get more gems, but I feel like I'm thinking about this part of the game now and I'm building auto gem spawners, so like at some point like I stopped giving a shit about blowing up rocks. I want to go kill aliens and stuff. So it's like I'm not getting the oh, thanks game for auto shooting for me. Otherwise, I would have forgotten. It's like I just don't even care about shooting the rocks after a while because I got more important stuff to do. So all that to me is just what's making me nag a bit about the auto shoot stuff. But I am curious what other people think about it. Um, I saw the path. What is path? Let's try that out. Oh, that's cool. So that makes me go faster. So that's like a neat upgrade that I hadn't tried yet. And I guess that has a cooldown on it. That's fun. So you could build like paths between your bases to speed up your back and forth movements between them. I like how the gems fade over time. I don't know about like the base having them fade over time, but I think it makes sense just as long as the player knows that that's what's going to happen. Um, I kind of want to put a path here just to complete it. I get why that might not be the case, but that's something I want to like feel good and have that connecting my base. Uh, and I don't know. I guess that's all I got to say for now. I think it's coming together pretty well. Um, Sound is like super helpful. I think even in a prototype, so it could really help a lot just to get like a Kenny game asset sound effect and just sound pack and just throw it on what you have. I think it could enhance your prototype a lot more and help validate all the hard work you've been doing, and also help communicate some things. The last thing is just to recap on is the enemies. So I think they're fine. Even as red blobs, they're fine. I had a really hard time getting the read on like, oh wait, they shoot me. I saw the lines coming out of them, but you could ultimately communicate that in a better way. Like, hey, their range is this far. Um, Give them a little gun or something to communicate that they are going to shoot you. Um, and I think it could help to have some enemies that don't shoot. I don't know if that's in your design or not, but you start the game off with these little blob guys that the player can get up close to, and then they encounter, a different type of enemy that shoots them. That you could play with some fun design elements there, maybe too. Um, Anyways, I think I've gone long enough. I do want to share a game with you. I don't know if you've played this game, but this could be good reference because I gotta find it. I forget what it's called. I'm gonna type keywords: alien, swarm, swarm, hive. I don't know. I'm gonna find this game and share it with you. I can't remember the name, but I'll send that in the Discord message after this. Hopefully that was helpful.